Well, come along and sing this song. Don't just stand there a-wishing. Welcome you to join the crew at Max More Fishing. You get more with Max for sure. If you'll just take a listen, you'll see how fun it can be at Max More Fishing.
Hey guys and gals, how is it going? Today I'm going to be showing you my newest venture, how to make a little bitty 2-inch crankbait just like this one you see right now. Let's get it started. We're gonna go with mahogany, and that looks pretty good. Now let's go cut it to size. Okay, so now we just gotta turn it down to the cylinder it needs to be before we can start turning the actual shape. Then you just want to sand it down to get it nice and smooth. Then mark your lines for how long the bait is. So from there to there is where my line should be. Okay, so now I'm going to start turning my bait down to 0.78 at the largest, 0.32 at the smallest, and 2.40 inches at the total length. Okay, so now I'm just going to sand it down with some different grit sandpaper to get it ready to be cut off the block. Okay, now let's cut them off the block. Okay, so now we're going to take it and cut it there and there. And you always want to leave the little tags just so you can sand them down and have a little more freedom. Okay, so now we're here at the disc sander and we're just gonna sand it down and round it off. There we go, and you can see it's a little choppy, so we're just gonna take it over and just hand sand it like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this little piece of sandpaper, just kind of hold it in my hand and just go in like a circular pattern, just trying to get this all rounded off. Okay, so now for the main assembly portion of this bait. So I'm gonna mark a hole at 1.03 inches from the front of the bait to the middle line tie. And from the middle line tie to the back line tie, I'm going to mark where a hole goes at 1.37 inches. And then I'm also going to mark a hole at 0.43 from the middle line tie for the lead hole. Now I've just got the small bit that I marked with a piece of tape to just show how far I need to drill to. And then got this old-fashioned drill, and you can use a power drill. The only reason I use this is because I can just get more precise with the holes. So I'm just going to drill these. Now I'm just going to take it over to the drill press and start drilling. Got the lead hole drilled. Now we're going to do the bill. So the way I do this is I've got this little pre-cut out bill. I center it up, and you can see when I draw that line, I just cut to there. So that's perfect. And then I take my little saw and I cut. Next, I've got these little bottle caps that I cut down and make lips out of. All I do is I cut these little pieces off. I gotta find my tracer. If you have a different design bill you like, you can do that, but my favorite type is the square bill. There we go. Now I just cut that out. Now, see, that just slides right in. And you can bend that back or forth to where you need it to be. And then you just want to make sure that's centered up, and then you just want to glue it in with some super glue. And there you go. There's the bill and the bait. Okay, so now what we're gonna want to do is put the line ties in. So for the line ties, I've got these little pieces of twisted up wire that I made. If you want to see how I made these, go check out some of my other lure making videos where I can show you exactly how to make this. What we want to do is put some super glue in the hole, screw it in just about halfway. Then you want to put super glue on the actual shaft and then just screw it in the rest of the way. Okay, so before we put some lead in this puppy, we gotta seal it. So all you need is super glue, some latex gloves, and your bait. Now the reason you need some latex gloves is because you're gonna be smearing on that super glue on that bait with your fingers. If you don't want super glue on their fingers, wear the gloves. All you need to do is just hold it and spread it. You need thin super glue for this because you want it to soak into the wood. And you do want to be pretty quick with it because you don't want your fingers sticking to the bait. And eventually the super glue could eat through the gloves. And all it does is seals the wood completely. It also makes it very, very hard. And there we go. Now while we're waiting for the lead to heat up, we're just going to hang this up and let it dry. Okay, so I got the bait. Now I'm just going to hold it and fill it up with some lead. It's sizzling pretty aggressively. And there we go. Now I just gotta file it down. Okay, so now that we got the lead in, I'm just gonna cut everything so I don't have to file it completely down. File and kind of just do the rest of the work. This would be the sanding portion. Now, super glue and baking soda. Then you can just file the crud out of it. Okay, so I just got the bait completely ready for paint, sanded and all. Now, let's throw some paint on it. I use greenhouse paint, hand house paint for the sides. It's gonna be a bluegill. So the green on top, tan in the middle, and then bright orange down below with green bars going down. So let's get this started. Crap, just spilled water everywhere. Okay, so now we're gonna do the tan and green. But I put the tan on first because then whenever I have my green, whoa, a little spilled over. Then whenever I put my green on, it'll kind of fade itself. Okay, now I'm gonna mix up the green. Now I'm going to do pearlized orange, tangerine. Don't need a lot, because that's just going to go right on the bottom. Here we go. And now next is the scales. Okay, and now for the scales, all I'm going to do is get some pearlized silver. I'm going to take this little mesh, wrap it around, and spray. And when I take it off, it looks like scales. Beautiful, beautiful little bait. Little bitty crankbait. Bluegill pattern. Just absolutely gorgeous. There we go. Beauty. All I gotta do now is add some eyes. Okay, so for the eyeballs, all I'm gonna do, got this little nail dotting tool. Get your color of choice. I love gold for these bluegill. Drop it in. There we go. Got the clear coat on. It is dripping. It is nice and shiny. Looking gorgeous. Okay, so we finished up the bait. Here's the action. It looks amazing in the water, but it is super, super cold outside, so the fish will not want to bite a moving bait like this. So here's some bonus fishing for you guys from when the weather was amazing and beautiful at my grandfather's birthday party, and all he wanted to do was fish. So here it is. Okay, it's Doc's birthday today.
What's that, Doc? What is that? Probably something to bite you. Huh? Probably something that'll bite you.
You can't open it up for another couple of minutes at least.
Whatever, it's going to take that long to get into it.
You can figure it out. Max made you
He
that.
already figured it out.
Max made you that.
I figured you just slide it and it has something come out. And,
Bite you.
Try it and see.
well,
Try it and see.
I had one of these when I was a kid, and when you slide it, it had a little spring-loaded thing that'd come out and smack you around the hand.
Well, your grandson made it, so you can.
You're probably right about that.
If Max
that
made,
gives you anything.
If Max made it, that ought to tell you whether or not it would do it. Well, what is it?
Well, it didn't bite me.
Happy birthday, dog.
I already had one.
You don't, not like that. There's a story behind it.
That's railroad. That's a railroad watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
The halls were
Ball.
certified.
Ball.
Jack.
Yeah.
Jack.
There was Bullivas, balls, and there was a third one that were certified.
So we started looking to figure out, we were going to figure out something. I wanted to have a watch made for you for your birthday. And started looking to have one made.
Other way. It goes in the other way. Little finger
Well,
tabs.
take it out, Doc.
Yeah, take it out. Put it on.
I saw that sitting there and I thought it was a toy that was like I had when I was a kid. Back when I first started the railroad, you had to have a railroad certified watch.
Really?
You had to, and you
That
had,
makes it cooler.
and you had to turn it in. I forget the time frame. It was ever, I'd be lying if I said, but 1 year or 3 years. But you had to turn it in to a watchmaker, and they had to go clean. They had to clean it and time check it.
Wow, that's cool.
And if an official got on the train and said, "Let me see your watch," it better be a railroad certified watch.
Wow.
And their next question was, "Where's your certification for it?"
Dang, that's cool.
Because back then the trains ran on a time schedule.
Right.
They would
No
tell
cell
you.
phones.
Well, no, there was no cell phones, no beepers. You get on a train and they would tell you, say from Fort Worth, you will go to Waurika and meet whatever. Well, they knew what the running time was between them 2 points.
Right.
So when you got there, you had to check in with the only thing you had was radio communication. You had to call the dispatcher saying, "Okay, we're in the siding, we're main line's locked and loaded for straight through movement."
Right.
And so everybody was depending on everybody's watch being exactly at the same
Right.
time.
Yeah.
And so if you showed up with a Bulliver or not a Timex or something like that, they'd say, "Where's your real watch?"
Wow. That's cool.
And they were serious about it. As a clerk, I didn't have to do that.
Right.
But if you were on the train as a conductor or brakeman or engineer, it all had to be certified.
Right.
And it was, I've seen them come in when the crews would go to work, the manager go back there, and, "Where's your crew on 98? Here, bring me your watches."
Okay. got a scrappy lure tied on. This one I painted 4, or I made 5 and I painted 4 this color 1. I left the wood grain. Beautiful little bluegill pattern. But I mean, these baits, they just have an amazing action. So, yep. Right when I started reeling. Right here by the boat. I cast it and it wasn't a good cast at all. And there's the first fish on the Strappy lure on Mineral Wells Lake. Okay, just caught this beautiful fish on the Strappy lure. He's gone. Okay, so I saw this bobber and I was like, oh, I'll just go get it. So then I pull on it and there's a bass. There's a flipping bass on it. I gotta get to this fish. Come here, big boy. The little guy. Look at him! Wow. Here, I'll unhook you. He was stuck. Someone's line broke, so he was just stuck. Wow. That's crazy. I've never seen that before. In all my years of fishing, that has never happened to me. Okay, so I got the line untangled. Just getting everything else. Let's see here. There we go. Look at that hook. Okay, I'm gonna get some pictures, then I'm gonna let him go. Oh. Oh, he spit it out. I got that on video though. Wow.
And I was just drifting, letting it drag along the bottom.
Just letting it drag. Good to know.
I thought I was hung up because it just bent over.
Yeah.
And it took off.
Wow. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I know I sure did. I had a blast taking you guys on my newest venture, making this beautiful little 2-inch crankbait. It has amazing action in the water, but even though I didn't catch a fish on it, I'm so glad I got to catch a fish on a different style scrappy lure. So stay tuned. Follow my Instagram if you want to see more lure making. And I know Doc had a blast hanging out on the lightning kayaks, telling stories, and just all around having a good time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Share, like, subscribe, comment below on anything you'd like to see next, and as always,
You get more with Max for sure if you'll just take a listen. You'll see how fun it can be at Max More Fishing.